mornings if you're watching tomorrow morning. The Independent next, and some breaking news from the States, Nick, on Alex Jones.
Yeah, Alex Jones forced to pay more than $1 billion for his Sandy Hook lies. The Independent's word, I would go with mistakes. They've also called him a right-wing extremist. He's been very anti-Bush and things like that. So we know the Independent aren't going to be fair about this. But look, it's a very emotive case. Jones made big mistakes. He talked about Sandy Hook as if it didn't happen. He got down this conspiracy rabbit hole. I've talked about it before on GB. I'm in this unenviable position of defending Alex Jones. But really what's happened is they've gone after him in this case. It does seem a disproportionate fine. I mean, I think it's about sending a message. What he did was bad. He's apologised long ago. He hasn't harassed anyone personally, but people have harassed these parents allegedly, you know, and they say, well, it's because of the things he said. They've really gone after him.
He said the whole thing was a hoax, right? And that the parents who were presenting their children as having been killed, which they were actors.
Yeah.
I mean,
he questioned it initially. It does obviously
it's kind of insane, like isn't it? Really?
Yeah. And then his followers went out and harassed the parents of the dead kids in the street and in restaurants.
If you let me finish it, because this is quite important.
Yeah, let's hear you justify this, Nick.
Well, if you're going to set it up like that, it's ridiculous. Well, there is a problem, because there is a free speech issue, because this case sets a precedent that you won't be allowed to talk about these things. What about the Las Vegas shooting, where we still don't know what happened? There's also a privacy law that they've brought in with this in Connecticut, whereby you won't be able to... you won't be able to talk about the shootings if families are involved. Now, the danger is the Uvalde shooting. We needed to know what happened because there was police incompetence. So there's a danger that you won't be able to do anything, and actually the FBI will be able to sue you in future if you say anything.
So are you suggesting that you think this court case has been has tried to steer the law or the precedent towards suppressing discussion, open discussion of this kind of thing in the future?
Yeah, but I think the threshold that has to be met under the law in this case is far away from criticising the actions of the police in Uvalde, where the police, stopped the parents going in and the police didn't.
The interesting thing, though, Jones is he's not like a single-issue commentator, is he? He's been a thorn in the side of the establishment for some time, and I do agree with you to some extent, because he has raised some issues that people laughed at initially and turned out to be true.
The Bohemian Grove turned out to be real, Bilderberg Group turned out to be real.
And to be honest, the gay frogs thing turned out to be real. The degree to which, the endocrine disruptors in the water supply have absolutely, unquestionably been proven to have all kinds of powerful effects on adult human hormone systems, which is essentially what he was talking about. And the gay frogs thing is an absurd kind of colloquial way of talking about it, but alligators, for instance, are being fished out of the Florida swamps all the time now with such horrifically deformed genitals that they cannot reproduce. The alligators, you might not think would be a terrible loss to Florida.
Have they been at the Tavistock Clinic?
But they are. Well, I mean, this is on the same spectrum as that. People are saying that, is it something to do with that? Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is. And this huge sudden explosion in trans as an issue which didn't exist at all 20 years ago. Yeah. Is that connected with massive escalation of chemicals in the water supply? And this is the kind of stuff he talks about, and he makes it entertaining and fun. And then, of course, he also has this terrible... I mean, it is indefensible what he said about the Sandy Hook thing, I think.
Well, he got down this rabbit hole because we know that there's been so many lies that he started to think, well, everything's a lie. And I'm not excusing that, but I do think there's a danger that we get emotional about this issue, fair enough. And then, to me, the enemies of Alex Jones are a bigger danger than Alex Jones. You've got the government going after people like this. They've gone after Trump with the Mar-a-Lago raid. They've gone after Bannon. They've gone after Roger Stone in an unnecessary way. They've gone after Peter Navarro. We see the government... It's ideologically driven because he's like you say, a thorn in the establishment.
I understand what you're saying. And also, what does it even mean to be given $1 billion fine? I mean, it's just absurd. I mean, he's bankrupt, basically. Once you're bankrupt...
No, but this is how courts... No, he's making a lot of money from his exploits. It was something like $230,000 a day he was turning over. So he's not, he's got money. I don't know if he's got $1 billion, but he's got a lot of money. And these fines, this is the first, they actually cap the amount that the fine can be. Right. This is just the sort of first round of setting the sentence.
Well, maybe Elon Musk will step up for him anyway.